My name's Brenda, and I'm just hosting the book club that's on the Body Thrive by Kate Stillman. And the main goal with the book club is just to kind of read through the book and experiment with the habits. And we're starting off, since I just do the calls bi-weekly, we'll cover 2 habits at a time, but you're just going to work on one habit for a week, and then you go to the next one for the following week. So the first one is, the habit is earlier, lighter dinner. And mainly what we're looking for is, between 6 and 7. As long as it's like about 3 hours before you would go to bed, that's usually a better time. And you don't have to do earlier and lighter to start off with. You could choose one. You could choose either to do an earlier time, or you could choose a lighter meal. And it's a little harder to start today because it helps if you eat more for lunch. The main meal should be lunch, and that's what we're kind of working towards slowly. Even if you just start doing it a few times a week and then keep working up to it, to the number of days that you can fit in your schedule. And it's just things, to supplement what you've had for lunch. So when lunch, you definitely want to have like the protein, the fat. You can have dessert. I mean, you could still eat some of what you normally do. If you're in the Ayurveda, you can go more towards those meals, the Ayurveda diet, which there's Kate O'Donnell's cookbook, Ayurveda Every Day. That's usually the first one that we kind of embark on, is her book. And I'll just read a little bit from the book itself on how to start it. So you eat a respectable lunch, which must include protein and fat. You can include a dessert. You just wind back your last meal of the day about 15 minutes earlier until you're eating about 6 p.m. You're going to reverse engineer your schedule to make it happen. If you eat dessert, have it immediately following dinner, and then brush and floss your teeth. And that kind of helps cut that desire to eat again, because the whole goal of the habits too is to, depending on your dosha, and I'll talk more about that on another time here, but most of us, it's 3 meals a day, and we're working towards not snacking in between, because we're working on a strong digestive fire, which in Ayurveda is called Agni. And when you're continually eating or having snacks in between, it's not allowing that time for the body to work correctly and have a stronger digestive system. And that's where a lot of the problems come from, is because we overfeed ourselves. We, just all the things that we do, snacking when we want to, especially if there's something emotional and you decide you want to eat something. The other thing, so we'll go a little bit back into the last part of this chapter. I don't know how many of you, how you, I know, sometimes on our weekends, it's a little different when our families are with us and stuff, that we're up later. So, even if a few nights a week you're still eating late or staying up late, it's not a problem. It's okay. You're mainly just shooting for a few days a week to start, and then kind of adjusting it more and more as you're comfortable with it. And it's just making it, kind of over time, you're making it more of a repetitive habit where you're able to do this earlier, lighter dinner. And see on the back part here, this is on page 48. Are you stuffed or content? As you work and rework this habit of eating light, early dinners, use the following assessment to see if you need to take this habit seriously. You feel great with your weight. You wake up feeling light and energized. After dinner, you act on the desire to move, take a walk, do household tasks, or play outside. After dinner, you don't feel stuffed. You feel content. You feel a natural fatigue, but not exhaustion at the end of the day. And when you go to bed, your belly feels empty and light, but you're not hungry. That's the new experience that you're going to kind of tap into, that you may not have done before. I know when I started off, there were times when, I still felt more like I wanted to snack on something, but as you set it in your mind that that's what you want to do, it gets easier. And then there's some tips for eating an earlier, lighter dinner, which is, like the soup or salad or a one-pot meal, which today we've got the Instapot. Makes it wonderful to create a one-pot meal. You can use a smaller plate. You can use the weekly meal planners, and I'll go ahead and make sure the worksheets are uploaded, because it looked like some of them are not they're not accessible like they were in the Facebook group, so I need to update that for you. You can get organized on your grocery shopping by making the list ahead from your planner. Be repetitive with lunch and dinner if you don't have much time to make food. Eat local when you can, and seasonal is ideal. That's the whole thing is with Ayurveda and with these 10 yogi habits, basically, is we're more in rhythm with our ecosystems, with the seasons. And you can prep your dinner when you prep your breakfast, especially if it's harder for you, with your work schedule and everything, to fit it in other times. And it also frees up more time for later. Bake root vegetables in the morning and reheat them in the evening. Use a slow cooker. Plan ahead. Try 2 minutes of slow, deep breathing before walking into the kitchen. That's a little mindful task there. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'm going to talk about the second habit also. And then I'm going to show you I'm going to screen share and show the Facebook group and show you where the units are, so you can see where the videos are to access those for each habit. Each unit is the same as like unit 1, habit 1, so it's easy to find. Okay, and on habit 2 is going to bed early. And the same thing with this one as with the first one. You're just, a few nights a week to start with. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be all 7 days. It's just, you set a goal of what time you want to go to bed. If you're already going to bed earlier, whether you want to step that back a little bit more, you just do that 10 or 15 minutes at a time. Enhance your bedtime routine and nourishing habits that wind you down. Land yourself in bed with lights out by 10. If you have fatigue, disease, or immune issues and your nerves need more juice, aim for 9 p.m. bedtime. Wind your bedtime routine back by 15 minutes per week or an hour per month until you get there. Even night owls thrive when they become morning doves. And I know that's challenging, but it makes a big difference once you start to just slowly adapt to the new habit. You give yourself the time to adjust. And anytime we go past 10, we're already borrowing from the following day the energy. So that's why we're working towards feeling more rested. It's part of our self-care to make us feel better and have energy, natural energy. What you'll learn more about is the dosha clock with the pitta time, vata, kapha. Those are the 3 doshas that it's just how we describe the body types. Like I'm vata, pitta. You'll have oftentimes a combination of, we all have all 3, but there's normally like an imbalance in one or more. So that's kind of what we work towards balancing. In the pitta time, that's between 10 and 2, and that's when the digestive fire is at its strongest. And that's why we want to eat the bigger meal at lunchtime, when the digestive fire is the strongest. The vata time is between 2 and 6, and that's when when we're active. It's a good time to do mind activities and working, things like that, everything that you would normally do during that time. The kapha time is between 6 and 10, and that's when we're winding down. That's the time when you don't want to activate yourself so much with social media, the phone, working late, all those things. It's more winding down activities so that you're able to go to sleep at the time that you've decided you want to go to bed by. And part of it just has to do with our immune system. In Ayurveda, it's ojas, which they call it the gel of our immune system. It's like the essence of the immune system. And it affects everything in us, all of our cells and everything. So that's what we're increasing and building on is our ojas, our immune systems. And what I like some of the tips on in this one for the building your ojas before bed. After dinner, take a walk, enjoy relaxed, connected family time, play a game or do household chores that are slow movement oriented, like laundry or gardening. Schedule projects for another time. Be done by 8. And that's a lot of times what we even say. We're putting our phone to bed. We put our phone to bed at like 8. Or you, with the family, you can shut the internet off at that time. You don't have to do that on the weekends. You know, when everybody wants to spend more time on it, you just, that doesn't have to go in effect. But I mean, it's helpful because eventually you may be only one person working on this, but you start pulling the whole family toward you. The whole family starts emulating what they're seeing you do a lot of times, and they start to adjust to the new habits too. The tips for building ojas before bed: after dinner, take a walk, enjoy relaxed, connected family time, play a game or do household chores. Slow movement oriented, like laundry or gardening. Schedule projects for another time. Be done by 8. Set a get ready for bed alert on your phone. Keep lights dim after dinner. Eat dinner by candlelight once a week. Watch the sky change. If you have trouble sleeping soundly, stop using caffeine and alcohol. Switch to decaf or herbal teas. Wind back your bedtime by 15-minute increments each week. Set a curfew on some or all nights by turning off laptops, cell phones, televisions, tablets, whatever devices. Meditate. Take a bath or sit in a hot tub. Use some calming essential oils. It's a good time to journal, especially if you have a lot of activity or a lot of thoughts on your mind and you're having a hard time going to bed because your mind is so active. Doing a mind dump basically in a journal, and it can be either a written journal, digital. I have a remarkable notepad. There's also Evernote, or even voice journal. I mean, it's whatever suits you. You don't have to do one particular type of journaling. You can do the kind that suits you the best. Or if it's, if you talk to a friend and it helps getting that out of your mind for the night, then talk with a friend a little bit. A couple last ones are sit or lie in savasana, which is laying down on your back, and you can use pillows and things. And you can do that for like 5 minutes and just let your mind unwind. Or if you do like for those that do yoga, the yoga nidra is a nice evening yoga to do, or meditation practices. Just don't do any of those pranayama breathing, because that's more activating in the evening. When I just do normal, like longer breaths out is better type of breathing for that. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and screen share. Okay. See, on the perceptivehealings.com, the book club tab, you can see all 10 of the habits there. And there are 2 Facebook groups. It's the Healing Talks Facebook discussion group, and also the Perceptive Habits, which is more specifically for the book club itself. And you can see there's the welcome video, the kickoff that I did a few weeks ago, and you can listen to that at any time. And that's the thing. I mean, you don't have to buy the book. A lot of libraries have them now, so you can find the Body Thrive book there. It's on Kindle, and it's getting cheaper all the time. See, there's a little bit about each of the habits, which we just covered, Habit 1 and Habit 2. And then in Facebook, this is the Perceptive Habits is the group. And then normally what you see is the discussion side of it. And as we have more people in, I'll post more questions and different things, and you're welcome to post questions in here for me to answer at any time. When you press that unit tab, then it brings up, you'll see unit 1 is Habit 1, earlier, lighter dinner. And here, see where you see Kate Stillman? Each one has a video on her book club I'm just going to turn it up first.
Hey, it's Kate, and welcome to Habit 1 in Body Thrive. So Habit 1 is all about the earlier, lighter dinner, and someone from a
See, so you just want to go through and listen, because she's the one that's designed the Body Thrive habits, and she has over 20 years on developing this, and having a lot of us teach these habits to everybody. So that's something that we do on a deeper level. But this is just for you to get familiar with it. You don't have to get into any classes or anything. Just kind of have fun with experimenting with what suits your life, and see how much better you can feel just by trying some of these habits out. But each one will have a habit for each unit has one habit in it. So unit 2 has the early to bed, and there's some other information there too, but you'll see. So if you're not in the Facebook group, just click on to join it, and I'll add you in there so you can access those videos whenever you're comfortable with it, whenever you have time. That's the nice thing, is you can do this anytime you want to. And that's it for the first 2 habits. So just do habit 1 for the first week from today forward, start exploring that. And then after the 7 days, try the second one and start implementing that a little bit and see how you feel about that. And check in with me. I'm here to talk to you at any time, and I'll schedule some more live calls, and I'm looking forward to having people start to join more. It's meant to be a discussion for us, for you to be during the live calls. This will be here for anybody on replay. So thank you for watching.